Students, we were going on with the chapter of ancient history. In this, we were studying the topic sources of ancient Indian history. So, you got knowledge about the archaeological sources, and today you will get knowledge about the literary sources. Means, what are the sources which tell about the ancient history of India? So second is the literary source. Literary means written. Now what are the written sources? We come to this. So there are mainly three types of literary sources: socio-religious scriptures, secular literature and philosophy, historical writings. Socio-religious scriptures. What's socio-religious scriptures? Means those scriptures. Scripture means something holy, means something written by some type of sacred peoples. So socio-religious means related to some religion. So socio-religious scriptures is the first one. Secular literature and philosophy is the second topic. We will study about it in detail. Historical writings means writings by the means of some history related. So now coming to socio-religious scriptures. Now how can we divide it? We can divide it on the basis of Hindu text, Buddhist literature and Jaina literature. So Hindu text. The Shruti literature had grown up in course of time and was orally handed down from one generation to another. It comprises of the following. So Shruti literature. So is the main Hindu text which is handed over from one generation to another. Now, what does this Shruti literature have? Means it comprises of what? Number first, the Vedas. Now you must all be well versed with the term Vedas. The term Veda is derived from the root word Vid. What is the meaning of Vid? Its meaning is to know, signify knowledge, par excellence. Par excellence means we cannot think how much it has knowledge in itself. Veda has a lot amount of knowledge. So the Vedas comprises of huge collection of hymns. Hymns means songs, prayers, charms, and sacrificial formulae. Sacrificial means related to sacrifices. The Vedas are also called Apaurukshya, not made by man, and Nitya, existing in all eternity. So Vedas are 4 in number. Now what are the Vedas? Number first, Rig Veda. Number 2, Sam Veda. Number 3, Yajur Veda. And number 4th, Athar Veda. Now coming to the Brahmanas. They explain the hymns of the Vedas. They are written in prose and ritualistic in nature. Brahma means sacrifice. The various sacrifices and rituals have been elaborately discussed in Brahmanas. Every Veda has several Brahmanas. So Rig Veda has the Brahmana known as Atriya and Kaushiki, and Sam Veda has Brahmana called Pandamaha and Jaiminiya. Yajur Veda has Brahmana called Taitriyans and Satapatha, and Athar Veda has Brahmana called Gopatha Brahmana. So in your objective questions for competitive exams, they can ask that Gopta Brahmana is related to which Veda? Then you must know Atharvaveda, like this. Or you can say Tandya Maha is related to which Veda? So you must learn it and say that Samveda. Now the Aryankas, they give philosophical interpretations of the rituals. Rituals means whatever procedure done is a ritual for related to some type of we do for gods. The word arena means the forest. The forest texts are called the forest book because they were written mainly for the hermits and students residing in jungles. The Aryankas are the concluding portions of the Brahmanas. Now coming to Upanishads. The Upanishads also called Vedantas. So they are also called Vedantas and deals mostly with the philosophy of Atma, soul, karma, action, Brahma, God, and Brahmana, ultimate spiritual reality of the universe. They came towards the end of the Veda. There are how many Upanishads? 100 Upanishads. Brihadaranyaka is the oldest Upanishad. So if someone asks you which is the oldest Upanishad, then you must tell Brihadaranyaka is the oldest Upanishad. Or how many Upanishads are there? Then you have to tell 108. And question can also rise out that Upanishads, what is the other name of Upanishad? Then you must tell Vedantas. Or the question may arise that Upanishads deals with what? Then you must know of the philosophy of Atma, Karma and Brahmana. In matching it can be asked that Upanishad is related to what? Then in matching it can be philosophy of Atma. So you must know what is related to Upanishads. Now the Vedangas. The Vedangas meaning limbs of the Vedas. So they are the limbs of the Vedas. Means the importance of limbs in our body is the same of the limbs of the Vedas. Means the Vedangas. It was composed near about 600 to 200 BC and a supplementary text for proper understanding and recitation of the Vedas. Now coming to further, there are 6 Vedangas which are as follows: Siksha, phonetics, pronunciation. Pratishakya is the oldest text on phonetics. Now Kalp Sutras, sacrificial ritual. It is divided into 3 classes. Shruta Sutras, Shulva Sutras deal with sacrifices. Griha Sutras, Samartha Sutras deals with the domestic ceremonies and sacrifices meant to be performed by the householders. And Dharma Sutras deal with the laws, manners and customs of the people in general. It constitutes the foundation of the Dharma Shastras such as the laws of Manu. So coming to Vyakarana or grammar, Ashtadhyayi of Pani is the oldest grammar literature. So you see, each and everything is in our Vedas. Means pronunciation and all type of deals related to sacrifices, for ceremonies, and for even grammar also. What we study today, it was also in that time. Now Niruk, Nirukta, etymology based on Nighantu Kashyap. It is a collection of difficult Vedic words. See, words are there in Nirukta. Now, Chanda Matrix. Chanda Sutras of Pingal is a famous text for the same. Means related to matrix. Means related to our maths. Now Jyotisha, astronomy, now related to science. Jyotisha, Vedanga Jyotisha by Laghad Muni is the oldest Jyotisha text. Means at that time the sages and the Muni they wrote about astronomy also. The Smriti, literally Smriti means remembrance. It means traditional knowledge and includes the entire corpus of the post-Vedic classical Sanskrit literature. There are six famous Smritis. Manusmriti, it is the oldest Smriti. You must keep in mind. Oldest Smriti, Manusmriti. Commentators, Vishwarupa, Megha, Tihi, Govindraj, Kuluk and Bhatta. Now second Smriti is Yajnavalakya Smriti pre-Gupta period. Vishwarupa, Vijneshwar, a king of Shilahar dynasty. Narada Smriti Gupta period. Commentators are not given here. Parashara Smriti Gupta period. Brihaspati Smriti Gupta period. Katyayan Smriti Gupta period. So see how many Smritis are of Gupta period, no? A lot amount of work for the Gupta period. Now coming to Upvedas. The Upvedas or the auxiliary Vedas deal with a number of subjects such as music, arts and crafts, archery, medicine, etc., which are not included in proper Vedic literature. So, Upvedas deal with what? Music, arts, crafts, archery, medicine. See, means approximately all the fields are in Vedas and Upvedas. Ayurveda or medicine was an Upveda of the Rig Veda. So you must know that Ayurveda was a Upveda of what? Which Veda? Rig Veda. Dhanur Veda or archery was said to be part of Yajur Veda or Gandharva Veda. The science of singing was a part of Sam Veda. The Athar Veda, the science of Artha or wealth as a part of Athar Veda. So now coming to the epics, there are mainly two epics, Ramayana and the Mahabharata. The Ramayana composed 5th century BC to 3rd century AD by Valmiki, and the Mahabharata composed 400 BC to 400 by Vyasa, by AD, Vyasa. Now are the two great Sanskrit epics of ancient India, which straddling the expanses of centuries still have a pervasive influence on the minds of millions of Indians. The Bhagavad Gita is extracted from Bhishma Parvan. You must know, Bhagavad Gita is extracted from Bhishma Parvan of the Mahabharata. Shanti Parvan is the Bhagavad Gita is extracted from Bhishma Parvan of Mahabharata, and Shanti Parvan is the largest Parvan of the Mahabharata. Now coming to Puranas, it meaning old deals with world creation, the genealogies of gods and rishis and the royal dynasties. There are 18 main Puranas including the Vishnu, Vayu, Matsya, Bhagavat and Agni Purana. The Puranas provide detail on the ancient political history referring to the early dynasties like the Nandas, Mauryas, and the Satavahanas. So, Purana is having details about the ancient history of our India, about the Nanda, Maurya, and Satavahanas. They also provide information on the development of Hindu literature practices. So means whatever practices did Hindu did at that time. Now the Shad Darshana. There are 6 schools of Indian philosophy known as Shad Darshana, and these are Navya, Visheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purva, and Uttara Mimamsas. Now, Nyaya Darshan Gautama, composed by Gautama. Vaishika Darshan Kannad Rishi. Shankhya Darshan Kapila. Yog Darshan Patanjali. Purva Mimamsa Jaimini. And Uttara Mimamsa Badrayan. So this is a very important topic. You must know which darshan was founded by whom. Again I repeat, Nyaya Darshan Gautama, Vaisheshika Darshan Kannad Rishi, and Sankhya Darshan Kapila, Yog Darshan Patanjali, Purva Mimamsa Jaimini, and Uttara Mimamsa Badrayan. Okay. We'll continue with this topic of literary sources. Second is the Buddhist literature. We'll study about the Buddhist literature in the next turn. In this turn, we studied about the literary sources and about the Hindu text. Okay. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe the channel.